Welcome to Module 1 of the Barnard Global Online Pre-Departure. The purpose of these online modules is to familiarize you with Barnard's policies and procedures with regard to semester study abroad, and to provide you with some general travel advice. In addition to these online modules, we will also hold an orientation meeting in order to provide an opportunity for discussion and to answer any questions you may have. We ask that you review all of the online modules ahead of that meeting. This first module will go over Barnard's policies for study abroad and will include information on the Barnard Travel Waiver, MyTrips travel registration, the support provided by International SOS, health insurance requirements, signing up for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program for U.S. citizens, adhering to Barnard's Code of Conduct while abroad, and Barnard academic policies. You should have received an email granting you access to a Google folder with the following documents regarding your host country: Department of State International Travel Information, Department of State Travel Advisory, the International SOS Country Report, and, if applicable, any CDC travel advisory. Please take some time to review this information in the folder for your host country. The study abroad waiver in the portal acknowledges that you have reviewed this information. We'd also like to share with you the following COVID-related recommendations. Please inform yourself regarding the vaccination, testing, self-isolation, and masking protocols in your host country. Remember that you must follow all local regulations. We also recommend that you bring your vaccination card with you. If you'll be traveling while you're abroad, particularly internationally, we recommend that you have a plan if you test positive and need to isolate. International SOS provides a quarantine benefit of $200 per day for 10 days. In addition to the waiver, all study abroad students must register their travel on the International SOS MyTrips portal. Information on registering your travel can be found at barnard.edu/travel-registration, and then by clicking on the How to Register Your Travel tab on the left-hand menu. Follow the instructions provided here to create a profile on the MyTrips travel registry using your Barnard email address. Then click Create New Trip and provide your travel itinerary, local address, and cell phone number. This is a required step in order for you to be approved to study abroad. As a study abroad student, you will be covered by Barnard and Columbia's contract with International SOS. International SOS is an emergency support provider that you can turn to while you're abroad. You can access the Barnard Columbia dedicated page in two ways. By going to internationalsos.com and entering the membership number provided here, or you can access it directly from the Barnard website at barnard.edu/travel-registration and selecting the International SOS tab on the left-hand side. There's a link here that will take you directly to the dedicated Columbia travel page on the ISOS website without you having to log in. From this site, you can download a membership ID by clicking on the button in the top right as indicated here. That membership document will include both the membership number as well as a set of emergency contact numbers in all the cities where they have offices. You should call the office in the nearest city to where you are located. Please note that you can call any of these numbers collect. We also strongly recommend that you download the International SOS Assistance app onto your phone before you go abroad. You may need to create a new login for the app, in which case you should continue to use your Barnard email to do so. The app will allow you to contact International SOS directly, as well as allow International SOS and Barnard to more easily reach out to you in the event of an emergency. As for the services that ISOS provides, they are available to you as a resource if you have any medical or security concerns. Once you've registered your trip, you'll begin to receive updates on your host country by email. Once you're abroad, you can reach out to ISOS if you need any medical referrals. They will monitor your case and provide support, including medical evacuation if a higher level of care is deemed necessary. They can also provide a guarantee of payment to hospitals if you are not able to pay up front, though that service is only available for a pretty sizable fee, so we strongly recommend that you travel with at least one credit card. In addition to medical emergencies, International SOS is available to you if you need security assistance or advice. However, in a true emergency, please keep in mind that you should call emergency services in your host country as your first step. In situations where there are security concerns or other risks that require evacuation from your host country, Barnard will coordinate with ISOS to organize that. They can also help if you lose your travel documents. With regard to health insurance, International SOS provides medical coverage through a plan with Zurich for emergencies only. Barnard also requires that you carry a health insurance plan that meets Barnard's requirements while enrolled. If you have waived the Barnard Student Health Plan, please verify with your provider what you are covered for while you are abroad. Even if your study abroad program offers health insurance coverage while you're abroad, we strongly recommend that you keep your US-based insurance. This is important both for the periods of time before and after your program when you're in the US, as well as a backup while you're abroad in case you need additional coverage. For those of you who are on the student health plan through Aetna, you will be covered for any emergencies abroad, as well as a certain limited number of routine visits. Please keep in mind that while abroad, you will be generally out of network, and so you will usually have to pay for care upfront and file for reimbursement from Aetna later. If you were to require hospitalization, it is important that you contact Aetna within 48 hours to get pre-authorization. We provided Aetna's number here, but we also strongly recommend you download the Aetna app. We provided the link to do that here on the left of the screen. Aetna also has an on-call service for travel emergencies, similar to International SOS. We provided the numbers for that here as well. Again, if you've waived the student health plan, please check with your provider to verify your coverage abroad. The U.S. Department of State maintains a list of U.S. citizens abroad in each country through the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or STEP. We strongly encourage all U.S. citizens who study abroad to enroll in STEP and to download the Smart Traveler app. Once on this list, you will receive updates and alerts from the warden based in the U.S. Embassy of your host country. In extreme emergencies, the Department of State has organized charter flights for U.S. citizens out of the host country. If you are not a U.S. citizen, we encourage you to reach out to your home embassy or consulate in your host country to find out if it's possible to register in a similar manner. Keep in mind that you are acting as a representative of Barnard while you are abroad. What's more, since you remain enrolled at Barnard during your time abroad, all of Barnard's policies remain in effect. This includes the Barnard Code of Conduct and the Community Commitment and Personal Responsibility Pledge. For this reason, any infractions incurred on your program or at your host university may also be adjudicated at Barnard. Turning now to academic policies, hopefully you've all acquainted yourselves with the Study Abroad Course Approval Form in Slate. We've provided a recorded walkthrough of the form as part of these pre-departure materials. If you already have a set of courses identified, you should submit them using the form as soon as possible. We realize that for those of you studying directly at a university, you may not have enough information yet on courses or tutorials to fill out the course form at this point, and that's okay. We also understand that your course choices may, and in fact likely will, change. You can submit additional course forms while you're abroad. We do, however, strongly recommend that you submit any new courses as soon as possible, and as early as possible before any add-drop deadlines at your program or university, so that you have time to make a change if a particular course is not approved. If you need to have a course reviewed quickly ahead of an add-drop deadline, we recommend that you flag this with the external credit coordinator in the registrar's office by email, and you should write to studyabroadcredit@barnard.edu, as well as writing to the relevant department chair if the course is counting towards a major or minor. Please also copy us in at studyabroad@barnard.edu so that we can help to move things along as needed. Please also keep in mind these important general principles regarding credit transfer. Credit conversions vary. Please familiarize yourself with the credit system used by your program or university. This is particularly important if you are studying directly at a university. You can find the credit conversion information for each of our partners on their respective program pages on our Study Abroad website. The conversion is also noted in the Study Abroad Course Approval Form. If you have any questions at all about it, please reach out to us to ask. All courses must be taken for a grade in order to transfer. Please make sure that you are enrolled in at least the equivalent of 12 US credits, since this is the minimum required to be a full-time student in the US. This is particularly important for financial aid eligibility. We in fact recommend, and many programs will require, that you take more credit, usually 15 or 16 credits. If you're taking a course in a language that you have already studied, please pay particularly close attention to the level you are placed in. You should share the syllabus for your course with the relevant language department or program to make sure that you are not repeating too much material from previous semesters. This is important because you cannot get credit for a repeat course. In certain cases, particularly if you are enrolled directly at a university, you may need to request that a transcript be sent to Barnard at the end of your program. This is important to verify with your program or university, since Barnard cannot transfer credit until the official transcript is received directly from the program or university. This completes Module 1 on Barnard policies. If you have any questions, you can raise them with us at the pre-departure meeting. If you have a pressing question, you can of course also write to us at studyabroad@barnard.edu. Thank you very much for your attention.